Good evening and welcome to the January 2026, I think I got the year right, meeting of the Madison DX Club. And first thing on our agenda, we turn over to Jim Hugo for how much bullion, gold, and silver we have in our treasury. Or, or,
60,
or is it more like Lincoln pennies?
yeah, and it's going the same way. 1634.30.
Okay, okay. Um, and we're halfway into our year, and I think I'll check with you later, see if we've missed anyone who's forgotten to renew. We do it
Yeah,
more.
yeah, I got to do some reviewing because I got to look at PayPal because they screwed that up now too, the
Mm.
interface for me.
Um, the minutes of our meeting are um, uh, recorded, and I'll send out. They're summarized again by whatever software, AI software that um, Zoom uses, and I usually go through and edit that. So we'll get that out. I think the last one is we sent to all the members. And next on the agenda, Bob, we'll start with you, and then we'll check with others. But how's DX and what's going on?
It's up and down. But the up parts are good. Um, we haven't talked, we haven't met um and talked much about DX for a couple of months now because of our December Christmas party. But one notable DXpedition, and I think probably the top DXpedition of the year, at least in terms of number of contacts made, was 9U1RU. And this is what our speaker is going to be telling us about tonight. They made 179,000 QSOs, and about 20% of them were with North America. So I was pretty pleased with their performance. But currently, we have something new, at least for me, something that hasn't been on the air for 17 years now, since 2009.
Yeah.
That's Desiceo Island. So I wasn't on the air. I wasn't active back then. So it's a new one for me. So I've been chasing them the past couple of days, and I think I've probably worked them on five different bands. And if you're, what I'm really happy about is they're on 160 meters. And it's an easy one and an easy new one on top band. So, in fact, they're on there right now, but I'm not decoding them. It's mostly East Coast guys that calling them for now, but hopefully later on this evening we might be able to work them. Anyway, they're going to be there for 30 days, so we'll have plenty of chances to work them. These are two remote stations on the helipad at the Desiceo. They go over there and they set them up, accompanied by the fish and wildlife people. It's the only way they're allowed over there, and they started setting up their stuff yesterday, so they didn't have a full day of operation. And this morning they had some maintenance to do, and so they haven't had a full day of operation today either. But nevertheless, they've already made 5,000 contacts, so they're really buzzing along. And of course, a great signal from down there, not too far from Puerto Rico. So if you're chasing these guys, they're going to be on 160 through 6 meters. They're using MSHV only, MSHV on FT8, so no Fox and Hound. They're also on CW, and I imagine eventually they'll be on sideband, but I I haven't seen that yet. So, and they're live streaming. They're live streaming. So that's great. You'll know immediately if you've worked them. And the other wonderful thing is that they're uploading right away to Logbook of the World. So within a very short time, you'll have confirmation on Logbook of the World. So, I mean, these guys have got it together. I'm really pleased with it. And another interesting thing is if you take a look at their website, excuse me, still a little bit of a cough from the flu over the holidays. If you look at their website, they're also showing the telemetry from the two remote radios. And what I noticed today was it was showing the frequency of the radios. And I thought at first that it was the frequency that they were transmitting on. No, it's the frequency they're listening on. Now, there's a nice piece of information.
Right.
So you can take that to the bank when you're trying to work them and you're having a tough time. So that's my little tip regarding that one. A couple other things that we thought were going to happen. There was this de-expedition to the islands off of India, VU7RX or RS, Radio Sugar. They're having all kinds of problems with customs and shipping, and they still don't have their full complement of antennas, so they're delaying their operation for a little while. They're going to be operating with five operators, 3 stations, 160 through 10 meters. So they hope to be on certainly by the first week in February, and I'm looking forward to that as well. Then, we had the teaser about San Felix and Ambrosia Island. This was Felipe XQ7IR. He was going to operate using the call 3G0XQ. He was supposed to be operating from Ambrosia Island, and the whole thing just fell apart at the end. And apparently, he has not gotten permission to operate there. It's controlled by the Navy. He still does not have permission, and so I don't know. We'll see. According to Felipe, they say they're going to review his application again next season. And season they're talking about is the fishing season, when they allow the lobster fishermen to come in and around those islands. So that might be a window for him to gain access. But I'm not holding my breath on that one. And that is number 4 in the most wanted for North America, and I sure need them. So that was a little bit of a disappointment. The big thing we have coming up, of course, is Beauvais. They're going to be leaving for February 1st for Beauvais from Cape Town, South Africa. Take a couple of weeks to get there. So they expect to be operating by February 15th. And, they have a huge icebreaker that they've leased, and with a couple of helicopters and about 20 some operators, and just tons and tons of equipment. 3 medical people and some other support people. So it's a pretty first class operation this time around. It sure looks like it. So I have great hopes for this, and of course for their safety. They are well supported by the Madison DX Club. We've contributed $1,000 to them. So the expedition's budget is just under 1.7 million. It was just incredible. But you can imagine what that leasing that boat cost them. To lease that boat for a month or so is incredibly expensive. So yeah, so that should be a big deal coming up. They're going to have two stations, um, one down on the usual point on the southeast corner of a Beauvais, and then they're hoping to put another station up a little bit higher. That's hopefully going to give us better coverage to North America. So that should be exciting. Finally, some other things coming up. We have some contests, CQ Worldwide CW contest for 160 meters on January 23rd and 25th. So I sure will be in that one. And then we have the ARRL DX contest. That's always very exciting. That's when everybody's chasing us. And CW starts on February 21st. The sideband contest starts on March 7th. Finally, our program next month is going to be Carl, K9LA. Carl's going to brief us on the current state of cycle 25, where we stand in it. So that's what I have, Kevin. I think you're muted, Kevin.
Bob, how long are they planning on being on Beauvais once they get there? Do you know off the top of your head?
2/15 to March 14th is what they say they'd like to do.
So a month. That's
Yeah, well, it's a very dangerous and unpredictable place.
yeah,
You never know what's going to happen and when they might be forced to leave the island early, either because of conditions on the island or ice conditions, around the ship. Although, this one seems pretty capable
yeah,
of handling that. But I mean, we'll see. They're going to have a ton of people there, a ton of equipment, and they can't leave anything behind. So, they have to have a good window for winding it all up.
yeah, yeah,
So, if they make a full month, I'll be quite surprised.
yeah. That's so any other DX that people have experienced as Bob said, the last couple of months, or what's going on with how it's affecting how the sunspots are affecting us, meteor showers, anything interesting? I guess not. I guess everyone's been hibernating, huh?
Well, there is one other thing going on. There's this worldwide award, and this is going on the whole month of January. And if you're interested, you can look them up. Just Google Worldwide Award, and they got a nice website there, and there are guys mostly all over the world, but mostly in Europe, and they're all pretty easy to work. And if you like chasing stuff like that, you can. I got into it for a few days, and I don't know, I think I booked 60 or 70 of them, and then I kind of lost interest. But I guess I'll get back into it.
So, anyone else? Comments? Everyone got their beverages down before the snow fell. And I mean, back in Wisconsin, we had that 12 inches. And as Ted mentioned, it's all melted again. So I guess there's second chances for people if they haven't. Okay. As most of you know, we have a web page and a YouTube channel, and we always publicize it, but you can always just Google or use your favorite search engine and just put in Madison DX Club, and it'll take you to those two sites. Again, if you put in MDXC, I learned a long time ago, you get the Mediterranean DX
Yeah.
Club. We have not been able to get higher in the rankings. I don't know if if they pay a ransom to Google, but they're still ahead of us in the listing. And second. So I think all of our various, I don't see Ed on tonight. He was working, I think, with some folks to get some software reconfigured, but I don't know if he got that done before he headed down here to Arizona. But I think all of our other systems are working, and Dick, I owe you a response because I'd like to engage a little bit more on some of the ideas and thoughts that you've had. But it just seems over the holidays, and we've had some itinerant snowbirds come visit us, so it's been kind of busy. So I haven't forgotten. I will get back to you.
Problem.
So anything else for the good of the group? Well, we'll adjourn the meeting in just a minute, and we'll be back after I stop the recording and before our program starts. So let me.
Just one thing, Kevin.
Oh, go ahead.
Yeah, so we have at least from our past history, we have quite a war chest now with $1,600. We haven't funded anything for quite a few months, as I recall.
Right.
So, we should be thinking about, looking ahead at some of the DXpeditions coming up and what we might be funding. Of course, we have this thing for Peter 1 in 2027, and of course that's going to be another very expensive DXpedition. I don't know where Peter 1 is on the list, but most wanted list for North America, but it's way up at the top of the list. I'm sure it's certainly within the first 10 and maybe even the first 5. I don't know. But I suggest we see how things go with this group at Beauvais and how they do. And I think that would be a good way of assessing what their chances are going to be down at Peter 1. So it's just something to keep in mind.
You raise a really good point. I mean, we've been more reactive to requests for funding.
Right.
And I think, as you have your DX reports and you're looking at things coming up, there might be ones where just because we haven't heard from them doesn't mean we don't want to reach out and make a contribution.
Sure.
And, we've tried to use as one of the filters in the top 100. Well, obviously ones that are in the top 5 or 10 or 15, I think it's great that we can participate. So we have built up, relatively speaking, a nice war chest, but we haven't been tapped for any of that. We haven't had any hardware or software expenses or things like that. So I think if someone runs across something, let us know. And I think with Bob's report, let's focus in, think about next year, but also if something else pops up. I know at our Christmas party, Bill was talking about, I guess, the only one he doesn't have, and I can't recall. And I don't think there's an expedition plan there, or I don't remember our full discussion. but it's ones like that, might pop up that we want to keep an eye on. Okay, well, I'll adjourn the meeting.
Something to think about
Oh.
too, Kevin,
Yeah,
and Bob and everybody is a sign. In addition to the top 100, is we're recognizing that there are some other expeditions that are youth oriented, right? And
Oh yeah, yeah, of course.
right. And so maybe even if they're not cracking the top 100, it might be worth looking at supporting them because they are the next round of de-expeditioners, and they probably need the financial help along the way. So even if it's only
good. It's good point, Dick. I mean, I mentioned one of the filters, but one of the things that we've also done is ones that weren't in the top 100 that had younger participants, organizers. We do want to support those sorts of things. So that's a good comment. All right, I'm going to stop the recording.